Yo, 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 what's going on? Welcome to episode 89 of ChanmanV's Pro Corner, where pros come and show us how it's done. I'm your host, ChanmanV, and today we got a very laid-back, chill type of show planned today. Oh, man, my closet's kind of open. Let me close my closet. But yeah, so today I was originally planning just to have Cloud, or All Team Alternates Cloud on the show today, but kind of have a special treat. We have the pleasure of welcoming ROOT.TT1 and ROOT.Major to join Cloud in just a discussion type of formatted pro corner today. And we'll be talking about things like, we'll be talking strategies for sure, just like we always do on Pro Corner. A little bit of Wings of Liberty, a little bit of Heart of the Swarm, but I did want to spend some time and talk a little bit to these guys about just being a player, just life as a player, and some of the real great things about being players, and maybe some of the challenges of being a player. And I've had these guys on for so long now, and it's always been just strictly strategy that I felt like it'd be nice to kind of hear some of the cool stories that these guys have, just like traveling the world and that sort of thing. So we're going to start doing a little bit of that during these discussion shows, and today should be pretty fun. On top of just having these guys on and discussing, we're going to be doing our Razor giveaway, and I'm going to be doing my ChanmanV subscriber giveaway. And let me talk about the Razor giveaway first. The Razor giveaway will go to folks that follow me on Twitter, at ChanmanV, and tweet me aTn.Cloud's favorite video game, of like his first favorite video game. So whatever video game he just fell in love with first, like tweet me that, and what I'll do is I'll randomly select from all the correct answers at the end of the show. And what are you guys going to win? So what you guys win all depends on what the viewer count ends up being today. So if the viewer counts from, I think the cutoffs are 0 to 500. 0 to 500, the giveaway is going to be this Goliath mouse pad. It's a great mouse pad. I use it. It's just really smooth, really fun. I mean, it's really, really great to have. It beats the hell out of any other mouse pad I've used. If it gets anywhere from 500 to 1,000, the viewership, then we're going to upgrade the prize to this Business mouse, this Razer Business mouse, another great mouse from Razer. And then if it gets over 1,000, guys, we're going to go up to a keyboard. We're going to go up to this Marauder keyboard, which is fantastic keyboard, nice and compact. A lot of the players I know love this keyboard and actually prefer it over the Black Widow, some folks. So yeah, so those are going to be the prizes, and again, it's just going to depend on how many viewers we have today. And once we reach that point, I'll kind of announce, once we get past, a certain point. And but anyways, we'll do that drawing at the end of the show, and then I'll do a drawing for my subscribers at the end of the show. And I have a list of the subscribers here, and I'll basically just have the guests, pick a random number, and then one of the subscribers will win something. And right now, I think I have something where like 12 subscribers. So if you guys want to participate or just help out with the show, please subscribe. And you can click on the button at the bottom of the Twitch channel here. It's a subscribe button. But anyways, let's get the show started here. They're kind of in mid conversation here, so it's always fun. And it's always fun jumping into that. So give me a second. I'm going to be switching them over. Here we go.
Well, you have to scout it to stop it. Like the only way.
Hey guys, what's up?
Hey.
Hey.
I didn't catch you too. I usually catch you guys in like mid conversation, and it's always like awkward as fuck interrupting.
No, he just finished his statement.
I know, it's like perfect timing. But so how you guys doing, man? Welcome to the show.
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, great. Yeah, it's a pleasure having you guys. And again, TT1Major just like kind of last minute joining the show. So really, really appreciate you guys coming on in Cloud. As always, it's always a pleasure having you on.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, so today I kind of want to do something a little different. Instead of like the replay analysis that we always do or some live games, I kind of want to have more of a discussion formatted. Let me switch the overlay. More of a discussion-focused show where we all just kind of talk about just anything really, but mostly like game strategies, and then on top of that, just kind of life as a gamer. And we don't have to talk about events or anything, but I mean, if you guys want to, then we can do that too. But I really want to just kind of focus on those things. I'm sure you guys have a lot of opinions on those things. So
yeah.
But so the first thing I wanted to talk about really is kind of focus more towards you, Cloud. I wanted to ask you about that December deadline you gave yourself, and it was on Reddit maybe a week ago or a week and a half ago that you tweeted that you were gonna give yourself to December to see if you could improve to the point where you'd be satisfied with continuing to play or not.
Okay.
Why don't you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, by the way, do you hear them talking?
We're not talking.
They're not
We're
talking.
talking.
No, I have people talking in my room.
Oh.
Oh,
No,
no, actually, I don't hear
No?
them talking. No.
Okay. So the thing was, I played as pro gamer for 2 years,
Mhm.
and honestly, I'm so disappointed with myself, like what I've done. That even though I love this, I just think I can't keep disappointing myself because it fucking sucks. Like, you go to a tournament and then you lose to players that you think they are far worse than you, just because you don't have the passion to practice enough or you have bad mindset or whatever. So, like after another tournament I lost against really bad players, like I lost to Soke, who right now is a pretty bad player, and to X-Lord, who's even worse. So I just thought, I can't keep doing this. So, what's funny about him?
Even worse.
The way you're talking about them, but yeah, I understand. They don't
Well,
practice.
they haven't been playing much, right? Those two
Yeah, I
guys.
know.
So it's
No,
Yeah, so-
right now they're not that good, both of them. Soke used to be a top player. Right now, he's just lazy, just home doing I don't know what. He's not a top player anymore.
right.
So,
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's the worst
Abs-
feeling when you're practicing, and then you play like inactive players and you just lose to them. You're like, what the fuck? Why is this happening?
yeah, but it was a really dumb loss. Yeah, but the thing was, I expected myself to do much better in Starcraft 2, and this didn't happen. So I just thought, okay, I'm gonna give it my best until December, without excuses. Just I will try to practice with my best mindset and see how it goes. If I'm satisfied, then I can keep doing it and try to aim way higher. If I see it's not working, then I'll just try to move on and do something else. But you know what? Like in the past week, I already won 600 euros with cups and stuff. So, and I've been doing better. Like I beat 4GG 3-2 like a week ago, and yesterday I won a cup playing 3 top European Zergs and Goody in the final. I even beat Goody, who I never beat. So
You never
I don't know.
beat Goody? Are you really?
It's his second win against Goody, I think.
Wow.
I was before yesterday. I was like 117 or something against him.
Yeah.
Since 2007, I started losing to Goody in
Wow.
2007 in Goodwood.
Goody was protoss back then. It was
Very good.
Oh
Man.
shit! And you guys both switched to
And-
Terran, so it's like mirrors
and he
for
won.
life.
And he won the games exactly in the same way. Wins every single game in StarCraft 2. He did shit that didn't make any sense and confused me.
I bet he does the same shit that doesn't make any sense every game, doesn't he?
Yes.
No, it's like,
yeah, one
yeah,
jumps
yeah,
in with
you
a
don't
yes.
meta game. I
It's
don't
like
know.
in fucking Brood War, he would proxy robotics Templar Archive with 2 gateways and DT drop your main base. And the only people who used to do that was like were like Goody and other players.
I see. So, you know, like, Carlo, I mean, in the last few months, I mean, obviously that tournament was not a good tournament for you, but I felt like you were playing decently just through this, the end of the summer and into the fall. So, like, do you think it's a practice issue, or do you think it's just, just when you get to the tournaments, you're just not performing like you can?
Sorry, is the camera okay now anyway?
Yeah, the camera's good.
Okay. So basically, I think the most important thing to have as a pro gamer is like, you have to be convinced that you're going to do well. Like, no matter how good you are, like, even if you're the best player in the world, if you go to a tournament with the wrong mindset, then you're going to lose to anyone. Like, it's obvious. And I've seen this. I've gone to tournaments and played like shit for 2 years, even though I could do much better in practice. I mean, I'm not the best terran in Europe by any mean, but I have an history of losing to way worse players. So this felt really bad, and like it kind of snowballed. And if you're like emotional, then it sucks because you start like losing confidence, and then like you read Team Liquid and people talk shit about you because like you lost a couple of games. And they say, "Oh, this guy is horrible. Like, why is he doing this?" When they don't understand the game. So basically, like, I think the best way to do it is just caring enough to practice and studying the game, but not caring about anything else. You should just like be confident about yourself and just do your own thing, which I never learned how to do. So yeah, I think it's mostly a mindset thing that some players have, like Stefano, Nercio. They're so cocky and like selfish that they don't care about anything else, and is actually is super good for a player to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they also play Zerg, but that's.
No, but seriously, how many times has it happened? Like you're in a tournament, and then like a winner bracket, loser bracket tournament, and you lose the winner bracket, and then you go in the loser bracket, you feel like all confident, not confident, but you feel like you're free, right? You're like, all right, I have nothing to lose, I lost already, so I'm just gonna play for fun or whatever. And
You're
just
weird, man.
yeah, and you just
How
that's
would
what
you feel that?
dude. When
This
this
doesn't make
happens, to me,
sense.
I remember this always happens to me. In the winner bracket, I'm all stressed out. And then when I go in the loser bracket, I play 10 times better because I just feel like, I start playing like I don't care anymore. And I play much better that way.
That's interesting. You'd think it'd be opposite since,
No.
like if you're loser bracket, you're like a loss from being knocked out of the tournament. But when you're in
No,
winners
because
bracket,
after I lose once, I get depressed. So I'm like, all right, I don't care. And I just start playing. And when I play it that way, like I play much
You're
better.
not supposed
Yeah.
to. Well, whatever.
That's how my brain works, dude. What can I do? What can I do?
So Juan, whenever you get to tournaments, how do you feel versus like practice? When you play at home,
Feel pretty similar overall.
because
Like-
you perform. I feel like you perform pretty close to how I normally see you play like online. Is that
Maybe.
fair or no?
I think I'm a little bit better online, but
Okay.
Yeah.
not too bad.
I mean, of late, I've just felt like you've been playing really well. So, but Juan, you practice a lot, right? I mean, I think it's kind of known you practice a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
quite a lot.
And do you think that helps with just? I mean, obviously it helps. You just build your game. I mean, that's like you don't have to ask that question. But do you think it helps with your mentality going into tournaments too?
No, that's completely different skill.
Okay.
Practicing is just like refining your mechanics and shit like that.
Mhm.
Don't get supply block, make good builders, make good decisions and stuff like that. But that doesn't change the fact about your mindset going to a tournament at all. I don't think.
You guys think that having like somebody on your team, whether it's like a coach or anybody, even just like a player that's knocked out, just come and talk to you between games helps with that, or before games, kind of helps with the whole mindset issue?
Like in GSL, like the coach.
Yeah, exactly like GSL.
I know-
think it's great.
I know the players hate that though. Like the
Oh, do
GSL
they?
players, they really hate that.
I personally, I don't like that whenever someone talks to me. But I mean, like, whenever you're practicing online, that's something that you have to have. Yeah, you need to
Yeah.
communicate with players. You need to like discuss builds with other players. It makes it much easier on you to practice. So I think if like you can't have that interaction with players, it's actually very negative on your skill cap. You can't improve as fast as you normally would be able to.
I see. So Carl, you think it's a good idea though, or Cloud?
Yeah, I think, like, at least for me, I think having someone that like keeps you like on hurt, because when you lose a game, for example, or when you win, like when you're in a booth, or you just don't think like rationally. You're like, I think not many people are just like in the same mindset would be in practice, but like having someone that speaks to you and like just about anything, I think that keeps you a bit more on the ground. So I don't know, like I don't speak to Korean players, but having someone like competent coming in and speaking a bit to you in between games, I think it's not bad.
Well, I mean, I think it's a matter of trust, right? I mean, if it's somebody that you trust, beforehand.
And I think it's a lot like how the player thinks of it. It's everyone's like they're different. So
Yeah.
some players
Yeah.
they might like it, some players they might not like it. But if I don't know, I think if I can have an intelligent player that could actually give me insight on the game and errors or mistakes and things I could improve on, then yeah, it would actually be really good. But finding those type of players, especially in the foreign scene, is really hard. So I don't know, really.
I mean, even if it's somebody that comes in and just, you know,
Motivation
in
talk.
and just-
Motivation talk doesn't do anything to me.
well, not
Like,
motivation, but just like relaxing or maybe just like resetting
No.
your mental state.
I don't give a shit about that. I just need like game information. That's
Okay.
the only thing that personally for me that's what helps me. If someone comes and he's like, "All right, calm down," and whatever.
Yeah, what should they tell you? Just
Shut
push
the
A
fuck
stronger?
up.
Like seriously.
Yeah. No, well, information about the game. I think it's player dependent, but yeah, that's how I think.
Yeah, I mean, not everyone hates it, but for the most part, they don't like it when the coach come in after they lose.
Yeah. I mean, definitely you're gonna be in a sour mood after you lose too. So there's definitely an art for even the guys that go in there and talk to them, right? It's like a caddy for a golfer or something. It's
Yeah.
pretty tough.
Yeah, I mean, it's subjective. If a player tends to get depressed after a lost game, then maybe having someone that cheers you up is not so bad.
Yeah, it's
I
not
mean,
too bad.
it depends, like, on the person coming in the book. If you hate him, then it sucks.
I don't think anyone you hate's gonna come in the boot though.
No, but
I'd
yeah,
hope
maybe.
not. Oh my god, that's a bad team if you're sending in somebody that the player hates to go talk.
I know some players hated their coaches, though.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. Like maybe you don't like a manager, and the manager comes in and starts talking to you, starts talking to you, and you never like got a chance to tell him face to face that like, you don't like his opinions or something like that. So a lot of players they don't say that to like someone because they're on the same team, especially
Yeah.
managers. But it happens once in a while.
I see.
Like with me.
Nobody
I'm in a
goes
game-
into nobody
if
goes
I'm
into
in a
Major's
game-
booth, man.
Yeah, if I'm in a game and Juan comes over and talks to me, I would just probably take my keyboard and smash it over his head.
Yeah, it's good. Some kind of troll coming, right, man?
I hate him.
No, serious.
Come on.
No, I love him.
So, what's y'all's next tournament? So, I know, Major, you're going to be at MLG tomorrow, right?
Yeah, tomorrow.
That's going to be awesome, man. You excited?
I don't like who I play first, but I've
you
been
play?
doing pretty well with my practice.
I didn't see
maybe-
I didn't see the brackets recently. I mean, I saw the pools like a while back, but who are you playing soon? Like early on?
Live.
Oh Jesus! He's in
Yeah.
your bracket, really?
It's my first round. Where,
He's your first round? Oh my God!
yeah.
Okay, that's gonna be.
Oh
a
yeah,
fun
they changed the
matchup.
format. It's not groups anymore, right? You have to play a player each round.
No, it's like it's a group with double elimination bracket.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay.
Yeah, the pools are different,
And think
right?
positive. If you beat life, then
Oh, easy
No,
street. Yeah.
And that's what I said. I've been
nobody
doing good.
expects you to win. So it's perfect.
I've been doing good in practice. I've been playing with Symbol and Shine a lot, and I've been doing pretty well. And they told me that maybe I can win, so maybe I can win.
It's just
Who
those.
else
Da-
is in your group?
it's just those counterlings, man.
Violet, Sulky, Teja, and
Oh my gosh! Wow. Okay.
2 open brackets, I think, and 1 more, and Revival.
Oh shit. Yeah, I
Only
remember.
Turks.
I remember. Yeah, Juan and Vibe have
Only
like really hard groups.
One and
Yeah.
they're in the same group. What do you mean?
No, they had no. Juan and Vibe.
Oh,
Vibe.
vibe. But they said
Yeah.
live. Okay.
I got only Turks in my group so far.
They both have
Oh,
like the
man.
most Koreans.
But you're
How are
feeling.
Zergs doing in Korea anyway? I always wondered because they seem to be doing worse than in Europe. Like in Europe, Zergs win everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I'm just gonna be honest. Like, actually, Korean Terrans and protosses are just a lot better than foreigner ones, including myself. Like, they're actually fucking good.
Well, I agree on that, but I'm just wondering if like this applies to the Zergs. Like, does it?
Yeah, like I think Zergs in Korea are actually a lot better too. It's just I don't know. They're just fucking good, man. It's just the way it's.
Yeah, but like when you play with them, do you lose lots or? fine.
Yeah, I mean, with Symbol, I go like 60-40 for him, and with Shine I got like 50-50, but it's
Yeah, it's
cross
pretty good.
server. Yeah, but it's cross server and shit like that, so it's like whatever.
Who's playing on the other server?
We switch. Like sometimes I play Korea, sometimes I play NA.
So you're not going back to Korea.
I don't have a place to go, so not now.
Just come mouse.
It's gonna close. It's closing in I mean not Sunday. In like end of this year. So
Why?
I don't know. They just told me it's closing. That's what he told me.
They just lied to
Well.
you, so you. So you
I don't think Color would lie about that, man. What the hell?
Color wants to live by himself. You just
No,
like.
man. Yeah.
I don't know. Cloud, go first. I don't have much to say, so.
Okay. The thing for me is that I could actually go to ESWC this weekend, and I refuse to go because what the fuck is wrong with my webcam anyway?
I don't know. I think one of you guys are transmitting like constantly too, so that might be affecting it. But whatever, it's
Whatever.
okay either way. I mean,
Okay, but I don't know. I just feel like it's pointless going to tournaments then if you don't feel like you're going to perform well. So rather than trying to go to the most tournaments, I would just try to play very, very hard and be prepared for a few tournaments. That's what I'm trying to do now. So yeah, like
Okay.
ESWC was an option. I refused. I think I will go to another major tournament, like before January. If there's like one, I could go like Grima. But like, right now I just want to improve as much as I can to not disappoint myself even further. So
right. So you're kind of in practice mode, that type of mentality right now, and
yeah, it's not even practice. I'm just trying to improve overall, like mindset. I'm eating healthy. I'm doing workouts. I try to be happy. I'm just trying to improve, like, so I can be better at Starcraft as well. But like, I realized you can't just play many tournaments and expect to do well. Sometimes it's just too random. You just have to be sure that you're in top condition. So my approach right now, like before my deadline, would be really try to do as good as I can. But yeah, yesterday I qualified for this tournament in Berlin, so I will actually go to this kind of big, well, not so big, but this is a live tournament in Berlin with like a good prize pool. So
The Acer one?
yeah,
Is that one?
that's cool. So yeah, I mean Berlin obviously is local. For those you don't know, that Berlin's local to you, right? You're living in Germany right now, right?
yeah, it's like on the other side of Germany.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty far, so.
Okay. Never mind.
It's really awesome. It's a great city. Like Germany
Nice.
actually has the most. I've never seen any country with as much social life.
Yeah,
Like young people
diversity.
interact so
Oh
much.
yeah, totally.
It's great.
Yeah, everybody
And
here that
Berlin's
lives there
like-
like loves it. So
Yeah.
good stuff. So for you guys, obviously you guys are all in a team. How much does a team play in just when it comes to any pressure on you guys in tournaments? So do you feel any pressure from the team, or is it's just all from yourself?
Myself.
Yeah, if you feel pressure from your team, then you're on the wrong team. You should never feel like you're like pressured to perform or something like that. That's actually very bad for your mental state. So most of even like regardless if your team tells you, you have to win, you have to do this, you have to do that, the player always knows that he has to win. We put a lot of pressure on ourselves, most of the players, I think. So any additional pressure from the team, if any players are getting that, then it's actually very negative. And I won't say which team, but one of the teams that I left was actually doing that. And I didn't like that. I don't like being in that type of atmosphere, so I just left the team. So if ever I'm put in that situation, I actually dislike it quite a bit. So
I see. Yeah, it seems to be the majority of the players are, I think, exactly like you guys.
Yeah.
It's you'd think the teams would kind of know that, right? Or
Yeah.
just kind of get a feel for it, but
They don't.
they don't. I mean, definitely you, Major. I mean, your history of you've been on a lot of teams, right? And
Not
and
really.
you've how many teams
I've been
have you
in
been
three. Three.
Three's okay, three. Okay, just three. Okay.
this is a sensitive issue for Major.
No, but
2 years. Well,
I
1
mean,
year.
it's
Which
the-
teams were you on? I forgot.
Come on.
6 Jacks, Check 6, and this one. The fuck?
Yeah.
Check 6.
3.
But I mean, I think you've spent, I don't know, maybe pretty close. You probably spent pretty close to the same amount of time not on a team, right? As,
Yeah,
as on
like
a
6
team?
months.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look up his TLPD.
You're such a bastard. But what are your thoughts on being on a team versus not? Like, I feel like Root is probably a really great place for you. I mean, from a team standpoint. But what are your thoughts on just being solo versus being on a team? Is there a big difference to you, or?
To me, it wasn't really that big of a difference. I mean, I'm just with friends. I don't get paid or anything like that to be here, but I'm just with friends. But some people it's
You
different.
don't get
I don't know.
paid usually.
Yeah, I don't get paid.
Okay.
You could actually get a good salary, I guess.
I'm sorry. What do you say?
He said you could
You
get
could
a good salary, like probably
yeah.
anywhere else. Probably. I mean,
I know, but I don't care enough about that. I'm
Yeah.
just with friends.
yeah, I mean that's the thing about Juan. I mean, I think it's always has it like being, let's say, being on 6 Jacks, right, and being even on Check 6. Why did you choose those teams? I mean, I'm just curious.
6 Jacks was because Artos missed most of it.
Yeah,
It was his fault, first of all.
it's his fault.
Yeah, it was his fault.
Okay.
Then Check 6 was because I really wanted to go to MLG. It was like, which one was it? Providence, I think.
Yeah.
And they offered me to send me there and some salary. I mean, I didn't really care about the salary, and no one wanted me anyway. So I was like, well, why not? I want to go there, and they're gonna pay my travel, so I choose that one.
Okay.
Then I left because I was gonna join TSL, but then the coach of TSL told me that I couldn't join because the sponsors didn't want me or something like that. Then I stayed teamless for like 6 months. Yeah, that's what
That's the
happened.
real reason, man.
Wow. Okay.
So I stayed like teamless for like 6 months. Then I joined Root. That's my history.
I see. Okay. Yeah. So I mean, it doesn't sound like the teams or being a team really benefited you that much, except for just, I guess,
The
travel,
travel.
right? I mean, that's about
Yeah.
it. Yeah. It's cool. That's
Well,
cool.
being comfortable in a team is a benefit, I think.
Yeah, of course.
It depends on the player again. I think Juan is very self-motivating. Like
Yeah.
he can practice 15 hours a day by himself, but for other players like me especially, I have to be around a good team, and there has to be a good team atmosphere because I'm not very good at self-motivating. So
And
that's
you're
why.
talking to practice.
Yeah.
I remember, like, you
That's
got
why I went to
angry.
Germany. Yeah.
No, you came here, and I lived with him for like 2 weeks in Düsseldorf. We were in type house, and then this guy, it doesn't make sense. Like sometimes just fucking lazy, doesn't do anything. Some days he starts playing, and then he plays like shit because he didn't sleep for some reason, and then like he keeps playing for like 15 hours while lacking sleep, and he loses every game, and then flames and says he wants to die or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I have a really bad mentality when it comes to practicing. So yeah, like when I
And that
lose,
was
I
the
don't know when
best
to stop.
environment you've ever been in. So
Yeah, I have to fix that. I know that's like something that I have to work on, but it's really hard.
I mean, that doesn't sound like
and you
much
and you-
structure.
When
to
I
that.
lose,
And-
the thing that I hate about myself is when I lose, I keep playing and then I never stop. There has to be like a certain point where like if you're playing bad, you just have to stop. And it's good to like analyze replays, watch VODs and stuff like that. But I don't know, there's something in my brain that just goes off. I'm like, all right, fuck this. I just have to, I just have to keep playing.
It's fine if you want to rot alone, but then you
Yeah.
drag people with you. Like you made me eat shit for 2 weeks that I didn't want. So like I became
Shut the
fat
fuck up,
because
dude.
Wait! What did you do? What did you do?
He made me eat like candies and like chocolates, offering me stuff all the time. And like I got fat because of Payan. He's a D-bag.
Dude, you're like the anti.
He's fat, so he doesn't want other people to not be fat. Because he's good.
I remember.
He's like ordering
There was one
pizza. He's
day-
like, you want some of this, man?
Dude, I remember there was one day I had like a really, I think I went from like rank 20 to rank 180 on Grandmasters Europe.
Oh shit.
That was like, yeah, that was like the worst day of my life. And when that happened, Cloud was there. Like, I was about to explode on someone. Like, I was like, all right, no one talk to me. Just leave me alone. I was in my corner. And then, like, the way I like sort of self-soothed myself, we went to like this grocery store and I bought like $30 worth of candy. And we just came home and we ate everything.
Sugar highs, man. Cure everything.
Yeah, I don't think that's a good way to solve it, but yeah, it kind of worked for that day.
Yeah, definitely. That's pretty funny. So when were y'all together? I mean, back when were you in Germany?
Yeah, when I was in
Europe?
MTW. When was it? I think it was like March or April. I don't remember the month, but
Right.
I was there for like 1 month after my semester finished last year.
Oh, I see. I see.
Yeah, just to get back in shape. But
Mhm.
yeah, after that it was IPL. I went to IPL and
Yeah.
I got owned by
But
Koreans.
you go.
I got owned by Koreans.
So
Curious and this protoss, I forgot.
Curious?
Yeah.
is it curious? Oh, wow.
Curious, bro.
Anyways,
Pretty good, man.
go on, Chanman.
I was going to ask you guys about Korea, just spending time playing in Korea, because recently, Illusion tweeted that he's been, just having a hard time there, I guess. And Juan, I know you spent a lot of time there, right?
Mhm.
And how was it for you? I mean, did you feel isolated and that whole feeling, even just kind of homesick when you were there, or that wasn't an issue for you?
No, didn't care.
Did you socialize at all with any of the other players, or no?
In TSL, I was pretty friendly with everyone, man.
Okay,
Like
so
everyone.
yeah, so y'all would go do shit like.
Yeah, I only lived there like 1 month because I had to go back to Mexico because my grandma was sick.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then I went back, and I stayed in the home house, which was a bunch of foreigners, right?
Mhm.
But like, I didn't really care either if it was in the TSL house or the home house. It was fine for me.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I just, I think different players have different experiences, right? Like, I've heard, Naniwa talk about it and Sase talk about it, and it's
Yeah.
definitely. What's the biggest gain for you? I mean, are you talking to any of, like, when you were spending time in the TSL house? Were you collaborating with any of them, or is it just purely just grinding ladder on the Korean server?
Back then I wasn't that good, so it was mostly Korean ladder. After that, after I came back, like the second time, I actually started playing a little custom with people like Symbol, Shine, Bolt, Hyun, I am Sid,
Nice.
Yoda, blah blah blah, a lot of players, and a lot of ladder too. So
No, that's awesome. I mean, obviously just being, in that network of players and just being able to play customs with them is awesome.
yeah, they help you a lot though too. Like they
Mhm.
actually tell you what you do wrong, even though the language barrier is really hard.
Hmm.
They try to help you. Most
Yeah,
of them, not all of them.
like the foreign players are fucking assholes because like when you practice with them, then yeah, it's true. They're fucking selfish because
No, because-
No, he just said the opposite.
Yeah, he just exactly. I did. Cloud
What are you
is like,
talking
yeah,
about,
like,
man?
yeah.
He just said like they help you.
No, but actually, I don't think
the foreign players, the non-Korean
Yeah.
players.
Oh, the non-Korean. Oh, I thought you said
Yeah,
Korean.
I
player.
think-
non-Korean.
I think that too. The non-Koreans are pretty selfish. I try to help as much as I can, because I know what's the feeling of don't knowing what you're doing wrong and whatnot.
Man, I can't
Even-
even trust my teammates. I can't like.
See, that's no. I mean, that's terrible. I mean,
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
It's normal outside Korea because like people don't understand that like if you work together with someone, then maybe yeah you can lose to that guy in a tournament, but then you're going to do better against other players.
Yeah.
They just play against each other like pretty lazily as well, and they don't share informations. I mean, yeah, some players don't think too much about the game, but very few players like understand that you have to trust your practice partner and like you have to share with him. So like
Yeah.
you get the most out of that. They just don't get it. I don't know,
Yeah.
like it's fucking
you have
weird.
to have like a group of players that you could trust. Even though you're gonna meet each other in the tournaments, I mean, you know how like each other players, there has to be someone that you can trust and discuss with, or else you're just never gonna improve.
Yeah, this happened to me before too. Like you have no idea how many games I have played with Hyun, and I played like 3 times in a row, and I only won once because like we actually talk a lot about the game and shit like that. But I don't care because I got a lot better because of him. He helped me a
course.
lot, so it's like whatever, man. He's like really good player, so it's like
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's weird whenever like I saw Illusion's tweet, like he's like he's having a hard time, but he speaks Korean, so I don't understand
I
like
know.
why.
I've been trying to talk to him a little bit, and yeah, he has a great opportunity. It'd be awesome for him to be able to collaborate with some of those guys. But I talked about this a little bit on my other show, Climbing the Ladder. I think last week, and it was just about how players just don't ask each other for help. Like there's this pride, or I don't know what it is, right? I mean, whether it's from the standpoint of just like trying to get more, just more reach, just people watching you on your stream or whatever, or even just improving. I feel like at least foreign players, they won't never ask each other for help.
Yeah, the thing is, there's a lot of rivalries, and there's a lot of cross teams. Like, say, first of all, there's lack of good players, so that's the first issue. So first of all, you need to find good players. Second of all, those good players, if they're like on a opposing team, like say I want to practice with the Muslim's on AG. Okay, so maybe if I practice with him, he's going to be like, okay, he's going to tell Torzin, all right, TT1 did this to me. And then the next time when I play against Torzin in NASL or something, he's going to know my style and he's going to hard counter me. So even though like I know the Muslim's a good person,
that's the same for
and I trust him.
teams.
That's
I
mean,
it's the same.
Yeah,
That's not the issue. It's an issue, but it's common to everyone. Like everyone.
yeah. I mean,
that's how I feel. I feel like there's a lack of good players, and then the good players that there are, like you never know if they're gonna tell you your builds. But I guess that's why you stay in your team. Like I think the best way to practice is just stay inside your team circle. It's good if you have like a big enough team, but unfortunately,
listen,
there are teams
honestly,
where they don't. Yeah, go ahead.
Honestly, there is no team that has like at least one good player for every race. There's not a single one.
That's what I wanted to say. There are a lot of teams that they don't have. But like for example, Mao's before they had Mana, Torzin, Moro. They had a lot of good players, and I feel like right now in Root, if I wanted to practice with good players, I could have good discussions with a good Terran, a good Zerg, and a good Protoss. That's one of the main reasons that I joined Root, because it's a friendly environment, and I could look inside my team, and I can know that I could practice with these guys, I could talk to these guys, and they won't share the information with anyone. So personally, I think it's a key component of trying to improve.
I mean,
No,
go ahead.
Oh,
Go ahead,
sorry.
Major.
I'm gonna give you an example. Like before WCSNA, I had to play him for TSL4, right? And I asked Hydra for a lot of help, like a lot of games. We play a lot of games, and he helped me a lot. Then look what happened. I ended up losing to him in WCS. I mean, one of the factors was because he was really, really late and I was really tired. But the other one is because he knew exactly how I played. But he helped me in a way to beat Hyun. Because without his practice, I probably wouldn't have beat him, because he helped me a lot with details and stuff like that. There's some players that help you. Not all of them, but if you search, there's some, I think.
Yeah, if it's very rare that if you ask a player, the player is gonna say no. The hard part is, like even before WCS USA, me and Hydra were not good friends at all. So I'm not gonna say we're not good friends, but we're not like on friendly terms.
Okay, there's very, very few Broodlord players who are in good relationship with Hydra.
Yeah, no, we're like
Oh, really?
we're like on neutral,
Very, very
on neutral terms. So, and especially me and him, we have a lot of history. So before WCS USA, he came to me on Skype, and I didn't have him at it, and he asked me for practice, and that was like really odd to me, because we get a lot of flame wars and stuff like that. But even when that that happens, even if Hydra
it
asks,
didn't take much to be flamed by Hydra. Just need
yeah,
to
I don't know, but we have
that's all it takes to be hated forever.
yeah. But even if with our past history, I'm not gonna say no to him. So I helped him practice. It's very rare that you see a player say no, but I guess the hard part is knowing if you can trust them to not spread your builds and stuff.
Well, I mean, it's funny because I think you're totally right in the standpoint of I think it has a lot to do with just the strategies, right, in the metagaming. It has a lot to do with probably why people don't trust to practice with somebody across teams. but it's not very often you're going to run into the, like out of like the whole year, how many times do you run into like the same player, that's the same, at the same level as you, right?
Well, it depends. Like, say I want to practice for a tournament, maybe I might be more inclined to practice with like a European because they're not going to be at MLGs. But if like I want to practice with Americans, I might hit them at MLG, and they're better, yeah. So I might hit them at MLGs. So I think maybe like, for example, MLG. If I practice with an American, there's a good chance that I might hit them in the tournament. So I'm not sure still. I think cross server practice is fine, but.
Yeah, but it's fine if you don't want to practice with someone because you can meet him. But what bugs me is that some players, and it happened to me a lot in Germany, so I actually don't practice with German players anymore because I don't trust them. But like, I tried with several people like to have a relationship where like, okay, we play and we tell the other our point of view. At least I tell them my point of view and what I would do in their place, because this is very important. Like as a player, you miss many things like that other races see. So it's important to communicate. And they just took all of it and they didn't give anything back. So
Yeah.
I felt, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
weird.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I think it has a lot to do with picking the right people too, that are going to be as generous as you are about, just the whole collaborating, right? I mean, it's a true collaboration versus just, just trying to siphon info from another.
People are different. Like everyone is different with each other. We all have different characters. So you do that with someone, you see if they're giving you feedback or not. If they're not, then all right, thank you for your help. That's it. You're not gonna go back to them in the future. But yeah, it sucks when that situation happens. But you just have to find the right people, I guess.
But when they're your friends, then
I know it hurts even more. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So, do you think that has anything to do with the game? I mean, just the fact that the strategy, because I've always thought of StarCraft 2 is it's just really hard to hide strategies. You know what I mean? Because everything's so readily available these days, replays and VODs, everybody's
Match
streaming.
history.
Yeah, and match history.
You can hide. Like a stream can be like a good source for hiding your style. Like when I stream, I use so many builds that I just use for like general practice. And then if I know that someone is watching my stream, like German players, I'm gonna do something completely different in like tournament games. Yeah. And I've won many games because of this. And I've been told that people thought that I was map hacking or in online tournaments because they just wanted to blind counter me and did something different. Just like no, this. I mean, I think you can hide. There's you don't have to play on stream what you want to play in tournament. That's dumb. Sure. Like I played 4GG last week, and I watched this stream, and I saw that on Ohana, it was doing the same build over and over. So
is it first?
Yeah. So I just did the proxy marauder, and they lost, of course, because that's a hard counter. You can't hold the CC first with proxy marauder. You can't hold the proxy marauder with CC first. So
right.
I mean, why would you do that? Why would you stream like the same tournaments using like?
I don't know. It's wrong.
Yeah, but
I mean,
you could use it to your advantage for sure.
This can be a tool. Yeah, you can use it to your advantage, and you can just come out with stuff and just try them alone or like with some trusted people, and then you just use them in tournaments. I mean, you don't really have to expose your strategies.
Right.
Like, yeah.
I mean, my whole thing is that when I'm watching some of like the top Koreans, top players in the world, like MVP, like Major, I see that they're adept at multiple strategies on maps. So I feel like there isn't like you can't just metagame just one specific thing against them because they're able to throw something else at you that even if they can do two things equally well, I guess is what I'm trying to say on a map. So is because I guess when it comes to foreign players, there's they always I guess favor a specific type of strategy on every map. Is that a problem? I mean,
that's why you need to play like a lot of styles. Like for example, me, people, I know I have better mech play than against Zerg. Like, I know I play a lot better with mech. But that I keep playing Marine Tank too, because if you play only mech, they're gonna blind counter you. That's not good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Same TVT. You can't just play mech. They're gonna blind counter you. It's not good. You need to play Marine Tank too.
Wait,
just
how do you
need to-
blind counter mech in TVT? I would like to know that.
You don't know how to blind counter mech?
No.
Like, it depends
Tell
what
me.
they open. If they open Hellion, like Hellion Banshee, you just go like 3 commander into bio, like really empower really hard. Or you can go like 1 Rax CC into 2 gas into 2 barracks and 1 tech lab factory with 1 starport, tank marauder marine push. And like if you know they're gonna make it so hard to stop that shit, and you can set up like a container with siege tank marine marauder. That's like one way to stop it. Like you can blind counter everything in this game. It's really sad, but you can do it. Like if you know someone's gonna do this, you can blind counter it 100%.
Yeah, and that's what's. I mean, that's kind of true of any game, though. I mean, you should be able to blind counter, right? I mean, they're definitely in Brood War. There are times where.
No, in Brood War, actually, it could.
There were builds where in Brood War that countered almost everything, though.
Yeah,
It was-
but
it
it
was
wasn't
hard.
blind counter. It wasn't like super blind counter like in this game.
Yeah.
But when you're saying super blind counters, I mean, are you saying that the blind counters are versatile enough, though, to.
Build
to-
order wins.
I know what you mean by build order wins, but I feel like that's a huge risk on their part too, right? I mean, if you just don't do the build that they're blind countering you, then they're totally at a disadvantage too, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
that's
so
the thing.
I don't know. For me, I just feel like if they're willing to take the chance, then it's. I don't know. I don't think that there's a flaw in that.
Yeah, that's why you have to play diverse style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard though. Like just to go back on the basic of playing diverse style. For example, MVP is like in a house. He has like 10, 15 excellent players that he could discuss with, that he
Yeah.
could talk to, that he can practice
MVP lives
with.
alone.
Really?
Well, yes,
Oh.
he does.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
he lives
Really?
out of the house. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh shit!
No, I know he visits the house a
Okay,
lot, though.
stop talking.
Holy
Yeah.
shit!
Stop talking.
I was about to say like he has a million good players that he could talk, but he talks to them, right?
Yeah, he goes to the house a lot.
Of
He goes.
course, I'm sure he does.
It
yeah.
doesn't.
He goes-
It's div, you know?
I wonder
Okay.
how to be honest, I wonder how the Koreans practice with each other. If it's like only inside their house, inside their team pro teams,
Yeah. it's
or if
mostly
they
like
like, okay, they don't play like with other teams. Because I remember in Brood
No,
War,
they have friends. I know that they have friends they play with, but mostly they play with teammates.
yeah,
Yeah.
because in Brood War, I remember there was players from different clans that used to play with each other a lot, even though they weren't like in the same team. So I always
It
wonder.
was fans. It wasn't pro team.
Yeah, but there was
Yeah,
less
but
competition
even
in
still.
Brood War. There was less competition.
Yeah, that's true.
Even in Korea.
Yeah.
It's only at the highest level. And
Yeah.
at the highest level, the top pro gamers were just using the B teamers to practice with them.
Yeah.
So-
Do
The
you,
thing is, those B teamers are just as good as almost any player, so it's really helpful.
Yeah,
Like,
that's true.
I don't think many people know this, but like, do any one of you know, for example, I Am True? Does any one of you know him?
I
True?
heard of it.
I am true.
Terran?
It's
Like-
brought, right?
No, sir. Like he's fucking
Yes, sir.
fucking really good. Like no one knows him.
Both of us got it wrong. There's 3 races. Not both of us got it.
I wasn't willing to guess, man.
I remember QXC beat them in GSTL and FX.
No, that was horror. That wasn't true.
That was
Fuck.
horror. Yeah.
How
that
many
was-
shit
that
do
was
I
a
have to get
different
wrong? All right.
guy. How do you spell true? How do you spell true?
Like every
TRGT.
single interview that MVP wins against her, he mentions and thank you to I Am True. Every
Yeah.
single one.
Hmm.
You saying?
I
Not
see.
many people know, but they're really good.
Yeah. You don't see a lot of results from him, but if he's practicing
Yeah.
with MVP a lot, then he
Yeah, I
must.
think it's like the really good players are the one who are really good at the game, and then they can keep their composure at tournaments.
Yeah.
So like, there's many good players as good as like GSL winners who just can't play as well in a booth. So
Yeah.
Live
that's
setting.
the,
Yeah.
that's the reason.
So because obviously the players have been having an issue with, I guess, getting good practice partners from the foreign scene. Do you think the teams should actually, like team managers and that sort of thing, should try to, I guess, negotiate with other teams and just have like a a joint type of what's the word? It's kind of a brain dump, between the two of them. Like, let's just say, I don't know, this is a crazy idea, but let's say Root and just EG just decided, hey, let's just join up and let's just practice with each other for X amount of months.
I think foreign teams could seriously benefit from this a lot, because if you think about it, most foreign tournaments are won by Koreans. So actually, foreign teams should make a joint team house with a good coach. That would be fucking awesome. But they just don't get it. They just run their small business. They don't get so many things. But what I've seen, the Russian teams are getting this, and they are collaborating together, and they're doing some stuff together, and that's great.
Even since Brood War, they always did this. I remember they used to have boot camps.
Man, Russians are fucking smart. They're the best at every esport except Starcraft. But no, seriously.
I know. I understand. And it should be like that. I agree. But if you're gonna make a team house, even if you make it, it has to be in Korea. If you make it in Europe or NA,
doesn't have to be in Korea. All right, just somewhere that has good internet connection to Korea.
No, but here's the point. If you make a foreign house in Korea, with several good players from several teams, then that's fucking awesome.
But why would it be in Korea?
I know. Why not have it on the West Coast? The West Coast is decent.
Even if you play only ladder, it's so much better. You have no clue.
No, but I'm saying, all right, ladder is fine, but you can play from the US.
You can't play custom games all day. No, you can't. It's fucking bad, man.
Dude, Select lives in Seattle, and he has very good ping to Korea.
Yeah, the West Coast
Kawhi Rice lives in Seattle.
Ping.
There's areas in the US.
It's not the same.
Oh, it's definitely not the same, but building a house just to play, it's got to be more than that. That's kind of what I'm saying. And you have to have, you better be getting more value than purely just playing on the Korean
ladder. Doesn't seem very cost efficient, but if they have the money, then all right, by all means go for it.
But it's never going to happen.
It's not so expensive, seriously.
No, getting a house in Korea is really expensive, actually. I know this because I live. You guys know Slug? Slug? You guys know him?
Yeah, Slug.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. Well, I used to live with him in the own house, and we were gonna get a house, and it's fucking expensive, man. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's crazy expensive there.
I thought Korea was cheap.
Everything is cheap.
It was cheap.
Except
houses.
Yes.
And
exactly.
No, but the idea, I think it would...
$20 or something.
What?
What?
The fruits in Korea is super expensive, right?
Oh, fruits?
The fruit, fruit is expensive as fuck, dude. Fuck that.
Coffee is so expensive, dude, in Korea.
Dude, okay, so what's cheap then? Jeez.
What's alcohol, soju. Oh my god, soju is like $1.
Soju's great. Soju's cheap.
Yeah.
Restaurants are cheap, man.
Restaurants are very cheap as well.
Exactly.
Getting groceries overall is cheap.
Yeah. But just to get back on topic, to be honest, I feel like it would be really helpful if there could be a partnership between teams where we could set up team houses with very good players that we could practice with, so we can start competing with the Korean
come here and practice with me.
Dude, I don't want to. Like we said, man, I don't.
Canada or wherever you live, I don't care. What the fuck? Just come here.
Dude, like I said, it's Europe. What am I gonna do practicing in Europe? Why can't I can practice on Europe from my house? I don't have lag issues to Europe. I have, but it's not that bad.
Yeah, but you don't have people to speak to in your house.
Yeah, I know. But the main issue is I feel like if I have someone to talk to while I can ladder on Korea, that's very helpful. The skill level has to be high, so I can practice at a very high level.
I mean, do you think that at least there is some value in, having obviously team houses obviously Quantic has a team house, right? And Complexity has a team house here in NA, and Ministry of Win, and there's obviously team houses in Europe too. Right now, I don't feel like those are. I mean, they're valuable, but I don't think they're. The potential value is being reached with those.
Of course not.
What do you think?
First of all, yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, what do you think we should be doing with the team houses here? I mean, they're already here. They're already built. It's just a matter of. Is it just a matter of getting players from
good
players from different teams
Yes.
in those houses?
For example, Ministry of Wind, there's a lot of, no offense to the players, but there's a lot of players that have no idea who they are. And I bet half, maybe even 3/4 of the players, they don't talk with each other. Like, they don't discuss builds. They just sit there and they play on their computers all day long.
Yeah, and that's the
And
biggest
they
problem
don't,
with these
yeah,
houses.
I'm 100% sure this happens. Maybe there's
Yeah.
a few players, I think Moro's good at, like, discussing strategies.
Yeah,
So he's
Moro's
going to
awesome.
talk with a few
Maro is
players.
very helpful.
Yeah, but I'm sure that a lot of the players, they're doing stuff that they could have done at their house. They're not even benefiting from it as much as they should be or they could be. So I guess maybe just if you want to make a team house, first of all, a good set of players, like diversified all races. I think 2 players per race is very good. So like 6
Three.
players in a
Three
team house. 3?
3 is the best. Yeah, 3 per
Dude,
race.
9 players in a house, it's kind of crowded. Okay, if you have, dude,
No,
this
it's
is
So what are you talking about?
all
There's
right.
9 houses. There's 9 people in Complexity
Right.
House probably, and
all
9
this
people
is hypothetical. If you have
Yeah.
the money and you could get a big house, then by all means, again, go for it. But it starts getting expensive with 9 players. But yeah, like just have good players that. I think there should be like a good bond between the players as well. They have to know each other,
And
or even
you
if
live
they
with
don't.
someone, then you eventually like, and you share the same passion because like if everyone is a pro gamer and everyone wants to succeed, so eventually people will start speaking to each other and like interacting,
Yeah.
unless someone is like a sociopath. But
Yeah,
Well, I almost think you have to encourage it. I don't think I think a lot of the team houses have practice schedules, and it's like, okay, you have to practice for like, this whatever 6 to 8 hour period or whatever. But I don't think they encourage collaboration at all, during it. And it would
but
be pretty
it
cool
has
if
to
they,
come from you. I mean, you're a pro gamer.
Yeah.
You want to win, so you know that you can't do stuff alone.
you have to be
Like-
passionate.
I know,
it has
but,
to be
but
natural.
that's what I'm trying to get to you, though. It's like, I feel like there's things that are overriding that. So, I mean, is setting up something that's structured and forces you to do it something better? Is that a better solution?
How can you
Is it-
force social interaction?
It
How
becomes
do you
back.
do that?
You can
you
force
can make them not
practice.
play. Just like, hey guys, like I want you guys to
Yeah,
just talk
just
about the game.
Sit at
It's
a
that,
table and brainstorm.
Yeah.
But I don't think that would be very productive, to be honest.
Okay.
I feel like it has to be natural. It has to be. It comes down to what I said. You have to find good players that are social, that like the game, that are very helpful. They discuss with each other. There are players that maybe they won't be like that. So, and it sucks to say that, but like maybe try to avoid having those players in the team house.
Yeah, I
But-
mean, I think the biggest attribute is they have to be like generous. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
kind of in that mode of,
It's not even
giving
being
and
generous,
taking,
It's,
like,
it's
together.
understanding that you need to give to get something.
exactly.
And you can't just get like it's kind of stuck. Like I think every player is just trying to get like all they can from the least they can do basically. Like
Yeah,
I have this feeling.
That's a
basically-
shitty. See, that's a shitty attitude.
Okay, I'll give you
Yeah.
an example.
I
Let's
hate
think
that.
about the EG house. We have Hydra, right? He streams all day.
He
How
doesn't
many
talk
games-
to any of the players.
How many games do
Who?
you think he played with Machine?
Oh, Greg.
None.
Oh, Greg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Well-
he cares more about the money than playing with the other players. Just
I mean,
stuff like that.
he's a different. He's a. I mean,
It's all
there
like
are
that.
other
Look,
people just like him. I mean, so it's not just him. I mean,
I think
No, I know.
I think he'll discuss with players as well, because we've had discussions as well, and we don't, like I
Yeah,
said,
of course.
we don't have a
I
good
discuss
history.
a lot with him, but I'm
Yeah.
talking like with the EG Machine. How much time he discussed with him?
I don't know.
Or
We're not in the
control.
house.
I mean-
we can't comment on it. I have no idea, because I'm
I mean,
not
Bryce.
there.
much,
I mean,
I don't
Bryce
think.
has mentioned it a few times to me that it's not. I mean, they talk a little bit about strategy, but when it comes to playing, and I mean, what I've heard is that Greg is just very prideful. Like, he just doesn't like to lose to anybody, particularly teammates. I hear. So
I know.
he just doesn't play because of that. So
Anyways,
that's
I don't-
different, I don't know what
Anyways,
to say.
He gives-
He respects very few players, and if he loses to them, it's fine. But if he loses to someone he doesn't respect a lot as a player, then
Yeah.
it's practically impossible to practice with him.
Okay. Who
Like,
gives a fuck
even
about
if
Hydra,
he's
dude?
playing
Why
a
are you
much
talking?
better player.
I know.
Why are we talking about Hydra? Please tell me.
No, he's a good
He was
he's a good example because he
he was an
streams and he gets a
example,
lot
man.
of viewers, right?
All right,
I mean, it's
he's
like-
a shitty player to practice with. Then all right, don't have him in the team house. That's like all right, one of the
Yeah,
type of players that
good.
you should have.
and there goes the whatever relationship you and I have at TT1.
if the person isn't a helpful player, then why would you have him in a team house? But yeah, in EG's situation, it's different. Honestly, I don't even want to talk about this because like I have no idea of their situation. I don't know how much they talk
sure.
with the players. Maybe Hydra and Machine they talk a lot, but I have no idea.
Yeah, but I feel like the EG house like is not helpful for the players. It doesn't make sense to me because like it's in America, which is like the worst server like to practice in, and like it's really big, and like they have everything, so they actually get lazy, and like
it's a different.
It's different.
Yeah, it's completely different. I mean, they have a different strategy.
It's all about marketing, but it's not about the players getting better. Like if you want to get better, you should not be in that place.
No, it's
pretty fun.
Again, the EG house is a completely different thing. It's like a headquarters more. It's a headquarters more than it is a training house.
Yeah, but what's so wrong about it as well?
There's nothing wrong about it.
The onus has to be on the players. Like they have a really nice house. It's big. I'm sure they're provided with food and everything. So what's the difference between having a pro house in the EG house in Arizona or somewhere else? Like it's a house is a house. There's no difference. They're all together, so you should just take advantage of their situation and do the best that they can.
Are you saying that they should have an EG house in Korea?
You can't just play. Even if we're like really good 9 players in one house, we can't just play against each other all day because it gets monotonous.
I'm not saying play against each other. The main thing is to communicate with each other. So maybe
if you play in an 8 server, you're gonna get worse. It's a fact.
Yeah, I'm not talking. Yeah, the server. Yeah, I agree with the server, and I think that's what Cloud was talking about, the USA. But I don't know.
Yeah, that's what my whole point that they don't get better. It's that it's in US.
Yeah,
I mean, so are you saying that given that they just picked a house that happened to be in the US and everybody had to move to Arizona. They had to move to Arizona, right? Nobody lived in Arizona.
What DG does, they pick good players. And then they put them together in a house, which is in the worst possible place you want people to practice in, but it's in the best possible place you can market the players. So just market the players, and then they get new ones over and over that do results. So they basically take the players that already have a good reputation, and then they get the most out of their marketability, and then when it's over, they probably just end the contract. I don't know, but it feels like it's not even a practice house. You shouldn't even speak about it because.
Well, I don't think they call it a practice house anymore. Actually, because it's I think it's more of a headquarters these days than it is.
Yeah, but still, like most players are there, like rotting instead of getting better.
I think it's still a productive environment, even though
they're making a lot of money. They are making a lot of money doing what they're doing. So it is something right that they're doing.
Regardless of that,
gamer, I don't know. I don't think you should just aim for money. I mean,
well, okay. But my heart feels the same as you do, Cloud. Like
then you're fucking garbage. Then what's the point?
No, it's not that though. It's not that. I mean, they just have, God, I can't believe we're talking about EG right now. But I mean, the thing about EG is that they got this marketing thing going, figured out, right? And they've spent a lot of resources, and some of their players, they've kind of used from a marketing standpoint. So their players are not in line with what you're thinking of just training to become the best people, like best players in the world. Their roles are different, right? And so I feel like
I disagree. I disagree, man. Every player that there is,
dude, you can't tell me Jeff and even like Bryson these days are like they have the same. They even have the time to practice like anybody could.
I promise you, every player that plays StarCraft 2 plays with the intent of being like a top player. I don't know if in their situation, I'm sure Machine are in control. I don't even know why they're good players, but like I was saying, every player they always their intent is to become a top player. I don't know if their management they're telling them, all right, you have to focus more on casting or something like this. It may be imposed on them by force, but I think if it's not, then every player they go into their practice regime with the intent of being the best that they can. Every player, regardless of what their skill level is.
Yeah, I really think like even if you make like 200k per year and you don't win anything and people expect you to win, that's, I mean, okay, that's a lot of money and that's great, but it's fucking hard emotionally.
Someone's flickering something on screen. Stop, please.
Oh, sorry, it was me.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I think being a player these days is more multidimensional than just winning. You know, like dude, if you would have talked to me about 8-10 months ago, I would have been exactly in y'all's spot. Like, I wish everybody was just trying to become the best. You know, just win, and becoming the best. You know, just improving themselves, becoming the best, because that in itself is the prize, right? But you know, just from the business side of it, I feel like being a player has more dimensions than that. And if you can find a guy who can market, like, you know, let's just say, I don't know, somebody like, they just like can cast and do crazy stuff like In Control can and win, I mean, then you have like a Michael Jordan, right? Like just somebody that just transcends like the sport, right?
In Control is an exception, actually. Like, he's really good at what he does. He's not really like a super top player. No. I think he used to be a good Broodor player, actually. He was better in Broodor.
Honestly, just start code real quick. I actually watched this stream for like, I could tell from the last 6 months that he's improved a lot just by watching a stream. I'm not trying to like defend him or anything like that, but I'm just trying to say like,
I know. Actually, In Control is like a great multi-dimensional player. Like, he's doing his job right, so it's fine. But I don't know. It feels like some players are just there and they just build up the fame from like the beta or something, and then it gets recycled over and over.
I don't know.
Because
I mean,
because it became all about being marketable and less about winning, actually. But of course, if you win, you become marketable. But then some people just didn't handle that correctly, and then now they have a shit reputation, and they can't go out from that, even if they deserve it. Like, I think Naniwa gets so much shit for everything he does, and like, on the other hand, Stefano jokes about Germans like burning Jews like on Twitter, and people think it's funny.
I mean, he got a lot of shit for that, though.
No, he got a lot of shit for that. He got a lot of shit for the 14-year-old thing, too.
If Naniwa said that, then like people would have sent letter to like every single sponsor in the world to not sponsor him.
Dude, but come on, I mean, winning fixes everything. I mean, that's true of every sport.
Naniwa wins. But Naniwa has a much worse reputation, and it started like really early, so unfortunately it carries with him. And Stefano has this reputation where he's like, you know, he says a lot of things, and people, you know, they're like, oh, you know, it's Stefano, forget it. He's just like
he's got a trolling reputation.
Yeah,
so
exactly. But Naniwa, when he brings up points, he's always serious. So usually when he says something, it sticks on him much worse than Stefano. So I think it's unfortunate how we like label players and what they say and how we attach the things that they say.
Yeah.
But we shouldn't. I think we shouldn't do that. But yeah, it's just how the business works.
It's not anymore about winning. I mean.
Yeah, I know.
It makes you a bit more marketable, but if you have a reputation, then you can change that. Like Tilo gets 3,000 viewers for being good in the beta. Like every time, are you serious? Or like Hack has a shit ton of fans.
Come on, that's not.
And the last year,
it's
just gotten worse.
That's not okay. Your TLO statement is not fair, like, because TLO practices crazily right now.
It's not about practice.
No, but
this discussion is going downhill. I think.
Yeah, this is getting ridiculous.
Dude, let's just. I just want to wait 2 seconds. I just want to summarize the discussion we had about the EG house, and I want to see if we can agree with this. To be honest, I feel like even whatever you want to call their house, I feel like it's a productive environment because they're friends and they're practicing together in a house. Even though, you know, like, it's self-motivating when you're practicing with someone, when you're sitting next to someone and you see them practicing. That's what I felt when I was in Germany with you, Cloud.
I was watching the Muslim streaming, and then, like, Idra insulted him on stream after he lost.
Yeah, okay. That's 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 his personality, dude.
That's
He's-
just
he's-
they are
He-
friends. They
they
are
are
friends, and they are building something together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the whole EG team, like Alex Garfield down to whoever, whatever player. I mean, they are building something there together, where you can't say that about every other team. It's
Carlo, I agree with you that all right, a practice house in the U.S. is
Yeah.
not as optimal as in Korea, but it's still productive. I feel like it's like motivating. I think
Well,
maybe
having
say
someone close to you is always productive. That's what I was saying. But
Yeah.
still,
yeah, it is more productive for sure. I mean, it's more time efficient.
but
it's
this
easier
is
to
crazy.
practice. Honestly, like you see someone next to you, you're like, all right, I'm just gonna sit down and practice 8-10 hours a day, and then when we're done, we can just have a meal together. We could talk about a few games that we had during the day and stuff like that. Even though, all right, let's just say, even though they don't talk that much about strategy and stuff like that, it's just a good environment to practice. Like people think that practicing 8 or 10 hours a day is something easy, but it's not.
Dude, no way.
So just like the fact that they can do
Yeah,
that.
man, but practically it's been shown otherwise. Whenever a player went to the G house, then they got worse.
Okay, I'm not gonna talk.
All right, we're not going to talk about the EG house anymore. Okay.
No, I'm just saying that that's exactly the type of house you don't want
Maybe-
to have.
Maybe
you want
it's
to have
just
people around the same level with the same motivation that are just playing to become better.
Yeah.
maybe it's
Yeah, but
just
we
variance,
so
man.
Carlo, here's the thing. Like
I see
forget the EG house, all right? We have other houses that are built with that philosophy in the US right now.
Example?
Right? Example, Complexity and Quantic. They both have a house
Well,
in
I
the
actually
US.
have no idea about.
And that's like, okay, and so I mean, we should be talking about that, okay? More so than we should be talking about like, I mean, EG has something that's completely just different. I mean, so there are 3 big houses in the U.S., right? And so what do you guys think about just with all those houses? Like one's in Houston, right? The Quantic house is in California, which you can say is kind of where the center of I guess NA esports is right now. But
Yeah,
but with Complexity being in Houston, I mean, is there any difference between them having it in Houston versus having it in Korea? Outside of, I mean, that house probably isn't cheap either that they have in Houston because they actually live in my parents' neighborhoods. They have a giant house.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you what happens. I've been in the TSL house, for example.
Hmm.
They don't play each other a lot. Like, let's say they have a GSL match, they will play like 2 days before they will play with each other to practice, right? They mostly play ladder, like most of them mostly only play ladder. But let's say, for example, when Shine just joined TSL, he will go every single time to Revival's computer. He will watch every single replay. We're playing ladder, like ladder replays of Revival.
Right?
Like, you can do this in like the foreigner house because the people you play on the ladder simply is just not good enough. So it doesn't matter what you see. That's
The
why you
most
have to have
important thing is player skill. Yeah.
yeah, you have to have the house in Korea just so you can improve. Like when I came back to the US, I got worse. It was really disappointing. That's why I started playing Korean server only again, and I got a little bit better again. So that's good, but
I see.
that's a problem. People in NA and Europe, they're pretty bad for the most part.
Yeah.
That's just
Is there any possibilities of building up the quality here?
The infrastructure is like 10 years
yeah,
behind.
it's not good enough.
You just look at the ladder skill level. There's a reason why like top 200 GM in Korea could be probably like the best foreigners
But
right
there
now.
is also a
Yeah.
cultural difference, I think. I mean,
Yes.
they
yes.
like
Which is the
Koreans
infrastructure.
are very,
Yeah.
very hard workers, and they just know they have to repeat the same thing 1,000 times to get better. And even if for some people this doesn't work, for most people this works. I mean, it's obvious. The more you practice, like the most
Yeah.
possibility you get to
Well,
get better.
Okay,
And-
Esports is just more common in Korea. It's much more accepted. So
No, man,
it's
a different
easier.
culture.
well, we
What do you
have.
mean?
I mean, come on. I mean, if you're talking about just doing things iteratively, just over and over again, I mean, we have other, like musicians or whatever, other professions where people do that. So it's not. I mean,
Yeah,
you
but
can't
they
say
don't
it's just-
compete at all against each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
That's the
fair.
difference.
It's so hard to compare the Western scene and Korea. Like I wanted to say, like it's in Korea, it's accepted. It's like ever since Boomer started, companies are much more in esports. there are people that like by themselves they start pro team houses and they put their money in it, and then Koreans they go without any pay or anything, and they can practice inside the team house. I don't think people would do that in the U.S. or in Canada. It's just much more like spread apart. I feel like Korea is it's all like centralized in an area where it's easy to access. You can have a lot of pro team houses, and you can have a lot of people go change houses and stuff like that. And I think, to be honest, that like raises the skill cap because there's a lot of pro team houses. Then those players, they practice with each other. The skill level, it increases much faster. They go play on the ladder, and then people, they once you play with each other on the ladder.
Yeah, I mean,
usually the skill increases. It's like
I totally understand that. And we talked a little bit about the pings being pretty good, decent, I guess, good enough on the West Coast. Is that a solution? I mean, should all the team houses be on the West Coast?
The easy fix, forget about the location. The easy fix is just like we should be able to play on Korea without having any lag. I have no idea how.
But that's not. I mean, that's.
It's possible. I was playing with Koreans in Brood War without having any lag.
Oh, okay.
So I don't understand why right now I can't play on Korea.
Yeah, we played with zero lag, which is not even possible on the same server right now.
Oh wow.
That's,
okay.
What the hell is happening with Battle.net? I don't get it. Everything got worse.
Okay. All right, no more of this. So we're not going to talk about drama, all right? So I'm going to cut it off, like, right there.
No, but seriously, Payam is right. Like, we were able to play from Europe or America with Koreans with zero lag, zero delay.
In December 2010, I was able to play on Korea without lag, honest to God. And now when I play on Korea, I have a lot of lag. I have no idea
there was talk that there used to be some setting, right? That used to, there was like a universal setting that, where everybody was playing on the same, I guess, servers, like whether it was Korea or, it was NA or whatnot. But then they changed something.
A non-official server.
Yeah, or something like that, right? And it was great. And then someday at one point it just changed. And then, obviously everybody had lag just in different regions. So, yeah. So I mean, I don't know about that one. Definitely, I don't think. Obviously, the Blizzard folks know that much. I mean, or know what's going on there, but at least for temporary fixing, I mean, I feel like
the best way, the quickest fix and the easiest fix is just we should be able to play on Korea, so we could build team houses, have good players, play in the team houses, talk with each other. We can discuss builds, practice them on the Korean ladder, and then afterwards we could give feedback to each other. That's the easiest fix, I feel like, in order to like improve our general skill level.
Right. All right. Well, why don't we talk about the game a little bit, since we've been talking a lot of. Actually, it's been great. Actually, a lot of the stuff that we've been talking about. But let's talk about the game a little bit and where it is. I mean, Wings of Liberty being first. Just talking about that, since all the tournaments are still Wings of Liberty, and so where do you guys think the state of Wings of Liberty is right now in regards to the matchups? Like, what do you think is the best matchup? What do you think is the worst matchup?
Worst
Watch
PvC
to play.
by far.
Yeah, worst to play, worst to watch. I mean, whatever.
All right, Cloud, Juan, then me. Go.
Okay, Cloud, you first.
No, like Major was talking first, so.
All right, Major, Cloud.
Yeah, Major, then Cloud, then CT1.
What do you mean, to play or to watch?
Both. Just yeah.
Okay, I really hate to watch PvC. I think it's bullshit, complete bullshit. PvC.
Mm-hmm.
And to play, I think the worst for me is TVP. That's because I'm not very good with Ghost. And the verb to play, I like to play TVC actually. I like to play. Even though I know it's completely broken for most people, I think I'm pretty good at it.
I mean, what does that mean? What does it mean that it's completely broken for most people? I mean, it's either broken or it's not, right?
To be honest,
TVC, that's what
it requires a really, really, really good understanding of what you're doing to play TVC. It's really hard to play TVC.
That's not broken then. I mean.
Yeah, but compared to what Sir has to do, it's broken.
You mean the easiness fact? Okay, yeah. Okay,
yeah.
Got it. Okay, Cloud, your turn.
Okay.
He has a lot of things. He's processing it through his brain right now.
He's about to spit out all his water. That's what he's about to do.
No. So I think I agree with Major. PvZ is bullshit. Like, it's a joke. I mean, like the late game, like the Zerg just camps until the late game and then they win. and then the protoss has to like gamble with some kind of 2 or 3 base timing, hoping the Zerg doesn't react properly. Like as
Yes.
far as I understand, it's like this. So, and the fun thing is that I was not there. I was not invited because they probably know that I hate David Kim. But
Oh shit.
Oh, you're talking about the meeting?
yeah, they had a meeting
Yeah.
in was it the Gamescom Cologne?
Yeah. With White Raw and Grubby and those guys. You mean?
Yeah, and David
Yeah.
Kim.
Indeed.
And this guy has no fucking clue about anything, like about anything. He's so bad at his job. So he had no idea
Oh,
that
shit.
the infestor synergy with Brood Lords was too strong against Protoss. He thought that you just need good vortex, so it's about micro. So that's
Well-
what like the guy
Yeah.
the guy in charge of balance thinking is just fucking bad at his job. So of course, like
Well, come on. Okay, they're
BBC
trying to
is
do
fucked
some.
up.
They're trying to do something about Vortex. At least it sounds like with Tempest in Heart of the Swarm. But
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
something. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, like unit with like 26 range sounds like a good design to me. Yeah, it makes sense. I like the idea. It's cool.
Drastic measures, dude.
drastic measures.
They call for drastic answers.
Still a move unit though.
I would, if I was them, instead of doing this, I would just make the carrier viable. That would
Yeah,
solve
yeah.
the problem.
It's impossible to make the carrier viable, dude. Just the way
Just
the
viable
unit
is good.
the unit AI, just the way it works. They
Well, I can
stack
change
up. Fungal is so cost efficient. You fungal the interceptors.
Yeah,
It's
but what
like-
about that if you couldn't fungal the interceptors? I think it would
Yeah,
be
we
pretty good.
talked about
Yeah.
this as well.
Mhm.
You instead of having fungal freeze things, you could just make it move slowly. So then the interceptors they get fungal, but they go back to the carriers. So you don't lose all your interceptors in like 2 shots, and then you have
Yeah.
like paper planes flying around. But I don't know how that would impact impact the
Paper
other
planes.
races, impact the other matchups.
Yeah,
But
there's
what
not.
if
There's
you
nothing like.
actually couldn't kill the interceptors.
Yeah, what
Mhm.
if they just couldn't hit him
Yeah.
at all?
I don't know.
Oh, if they didn't hit him.
Then
Oh
it's-
my God,
imagine-
carriers would be
There's
so
ways,
powerful.
there's ways to make the carrier viable because it was
Yeah.
actually a great unit in Brood War. And
It's terrible,
I
Starcraft.
don't know.
It's terrible.
Yeah, I just think
Yeah, it
the
really-
main thing in PvZ is just that they could fungal interceptors and infested terrans are so strong.
Oh my God,
That's
that
the
shit is
main-
so gay.
Yeah, that's the main thing for
Mm-hmm.
carriers. Even like it's really hard and PvZ super. I'll say this: PvZ early game, I think it's pretty early game, like 2 base. I think,
Mm-hmm.
of course, Protoss favored.
Protoss.
Mortal Islands are really good.
When is it ever 2 base, 2 base, dude?
even a
It's
2
always
base,
3 base, 2
situation
base.
ever?
Sorry, I didn't hear.
Is there like even a 2 base situation ever?
No,
Yeah,
no,
there's not.
I missaid
There's
it.
not.
2 base, 3 base. So 2 base, 3 base, early game, alright. Protoss favored. Yeah, Zerg has to be really good at defending Immortal Islands, which requires
hard.
really good micro. Yeah, the relativity between how much Protoss has to micro compared to the Zerg is much more favored in terms of the in terms of the Protoss.
Yep.
So the Zerg skill level has to be much higher to defend that all in. So that's not balanced, or let's just say it's not fair. Then the mid game, you get to a point where it's really hard to pressure the Zerg because you have infestors. I'm not gonna say it's impossible. There's a lot of players that have been doing it as well. They're going like blink stalkers, but they just put their stalkers really well. And to be honest, I don't think I have enough knowledge to like discuss about balance issues and stuff like that. But where like I'm sure the game is imbalanced is in the super late game, because when Protoss is maxed out, there is no way to transition to carriers. Because once your army is dead, you can't just like
You
make
can't
carriers.
rebuild it instantly.
Yeah, they take so much time. So all your expos are gonna die, and even once they're out, it's not like a ultimate kill unit. So they're just gonna die as well. It's
think-
it's a really hard position to be in for Protoss in the super late game.
Do you think it would help if you could warp in? You could warp in air units too, but the time
No, what the hell?
no, on the first one, on the very first one you could warp in, but then the timer is just as long as
I
it
want
would
to
take
win
to build one.
carriers. Yeah.
But you can only warp in a single one per Stargate.
No, that
I-
will make Void Raid all in against Terran. What the hell? No, no, no.
I agree with Major.
You're making a mistake in their boots right now.
Exactly.
Their
David Kim's
bodies-
listening, dude.
All, Cloud and Major, all their bodies are like twitching right now. They're like, please don't make it happen.
No. But okay, so I mean, does everybody agree basically PvZ? You think it's the worst right
Okay,
now?
let's speak about meaning of life and this kind of stuff.
PvZ early game protoss favored, probably not as extreme as PvZ late game, but yeah, I think both early and late game is imbalanced for the
Yeah.
opposing races.
I mean, watching too. I think everybody ends up seeing the same vortex battle, like deciding the game at the end of the
Yeah.
day for the most part. So I think even viewers are probably tired of seeing it. But
I mean,
So Blizzard knows the problem. They know, they even addressed it. So
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
happy
done.
that they do. They talked. They were saying that they want to phase Vortex out,
Yeah,
and they want to give viable counters to Brood. What's the unit called?
the Tempest.
Broodlords. No, Broodlords. My bad.
Oh, Broodlords.
Yeah, they're trying to make the Tempest viable against the Broodlord, so they could phase Vortex
Oh,
out.
yeah, you have to get me French, so you didn't remember.
So yeah, I'm happy that
Inside joke.
they know it's an issue, but yeah, they're planning to fix it in HOTS, and we have to live with, I guess, Wings of Liberty Super Late game now in PvZ. So it's
which
kinda
is really easy to get nowadays. Good search
Yeah,
will
it's-
get to there.
yeah, you just make spines and
Yeah.
infestors. It's really hard to break.
But
And
the
they
They
worst
can
thing,
they can force it easily.
the worst thing is that it's boring to watch. Like,
Yeah, it's really boring.
Yeah.
I like when I was playing Starcraft 1, I was playing Protoss, but whenever I watched TVZ, I was so happy just to watch
Yeah.
it. I didn't
love
understand
it.
any of it, but it was so entertaining. And now
Yeah.
I'm playing Terran, and I never watch PvZ because it's just not entertaining. On the other hand, TVZ can be really entertaining.
Oh, TVZ is very entertaining.
It was it was even more before the Queen buff, because it was more diverse from the beginning to the end.
Roasted
I think
drones.
there were more strategies in the early game, and this changed a lot. Like everything.
Yeah, it's basically the same build for Terran every game. Hell and Banshee. There's no different build.
Yeah, exactly.
Really.
PvZ can be entertaining though. Sorry, go. Go ahead,
Go ahead.
Cloud.
Hello.
Cloud.
Cloud.
We
Cloud.
can hear you.
Hello.
Is he cutting
What?
off?
You can hear me.
Yeah, I can
Now.
hear you. I can hear you.
Yeah, you want to say something? Go ahead. I'll talk
You're
after you.
trolling. I
No.
just forgot.
No.
You just forgot. No, I just wanted to say PvZ can be
It's super
entertaining.
retarded.
Yeah. It
I mean-
can be entertaining, but the better the Zerg is, the less entertaining the game becomes.
Yeah.
If the Zerg is like, average, then you're gonna see a lot of War Prism speed harass, which is very entertaining. I like seeing that.
Oh, yeah.
Storm drops, DT drops. But then if you're playing like the boringest style of Zerg, which is so efficient, you just put spores, spines everywhere, and then the Protoss, there's like no holes that you can break through,
Yeah.
and you're just gonna be forced to like engage the army head on, and that's
Remember-
gonna happen whenever the Zerg wants to
Remember
happen.
Sulky versus Hero yesterday? I mean, 2 days ago?
No, I didn't
Yeah.
watch that. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
with the
yeah.
spines.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
It's-
really.
Nothing that
Sad.
made like a million spots.
Yeah, it was
I
really.
mean, it's
sad
just,
to watch.
it's like watching Suppy like in an NA do it. I mean, it's like the same kind of thing.
Yes.
But
You're 10
Yeah.
times better.
There was a time where Protoss was like, "Oh yes, Broodlords, I might win if I base trade," but now Zergs are like, "All right, I'm just gonna lift my spines and
exactly.
bring them my army. You're never gonna be able to kill them."
Well, we'll take out a couple units here, a couple units there, and then bring my army back and kill you. So
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. But so, what do you think of TVT right now, Major?
TB what?
TVT.
TBT.
Well, there's no-
Or
I mean, I when I ask this question to other folks, a lot of times I get TVT as the answer.
TBT right now, Marine Tank is becoming like the standard nowadays. Mech, at least in the current server, playing Mech, it was really hard before. Now it's like 3 times more hard because
Oh, really?
they actually started to understand the timings of Mech and whatnot, and they just become a lot better with Marine Marauder Tank. I don't like Marine Tank that much, but I'm not bad at it. But it's just becoming. I don't like TBT that much anymore because I don't like Marine Tank too much. I like Mech a lot better, and it's a lot harder nowadays to play. Like really, really a lot hard.
to become a finesse player, dude.
No, man, it's not even that. It's really hard to play Mech nowadays.
Yeah.
TBT.
All right, that's cool. So, when do you think when do you think tournaments are going to start picking up HOTS? Or, I guess, well, I guess that's kind of a dumb question. Once HOTS, I guess, starts stabilizing a bit, right?
Yeah.
But why don't we talk a little bit about HOTS? We kind of, I think TT1 you brought up the page, right, that has all the balance updates and stuff. Let me kind of bring that up so folks can see that. What should I use here? And the patch I think the patch went out day before yesterday. Is that right?
I think so.
Yeah.
I haven't been following, so.
Yeah, let's take a look at this. All right.
There's been so many patches that.
Yeah.
I gave up on it.
All right, so we're talking. All right, so first off, it looks like just like every patch, the protoss has like a million things listed. So they took out Siphon and Entombed. So the oracles basically completely changed, right? The abilities.
Mm-hmm.
But have you gotten a chance to play it? Or any of you guys got a chance to play the game with the new patches?
I saw the video of Destro destroying hatchers with those oracles.
With the oracle, yeah, I saw that too.
It was pretty stupid.
That's pretty crazy. Yeah, so the oracle seems to be, it seems to be a unit that's, I don't know, somewhat of like an early siege unit because it takes out buildings so fast, right? And then it has a slow. Yeah, it has a slow, right? So it's like 3.5 radius for 50%.
Oh yeah, that shit was fucking stupid though. Like the globe that slow all of my units down.
That's
exactly.
That's broken. Yeah, that's really broken.
God, that's especially in PvT. That is crazy.
Carlo, have you seen that?
No, actually I lost interest in HOTS because it's too unstable.
Yeah.
Like I played the first week and like it was just about warhounds, and then like okay, I'm gonna come back when it's kind of.
Yeah, it's difficult for the players right now. Like I was talking to Moro and stuff on like a week or two ago about deciding to just play HOTS because I feel like time efficiency there's going to be a lot of wasted time, right? Because you're going to end up learning all these units that could disappear. In a month.
I told Moro it just
waste of time. Yeah.
But he loves his mech Terran right now.
TT1, why you explain Carlo? What is it about the spell anyway?
Dude, this is the most the most broken spell I've ever seen in my life. All right, so
Which one?
The Oracle. It has a spell called I forgot what's it called. What's it called?
It's called Time Warp. The slow. Yeah.
Okay, first of all, it takes up like half the screen. So the AoE is like the biggest thing I've ever seen in my life. Literally,
does it really? I didn't see that.
Yeah,
it's
wow.
Almost like all the army fits in it, like a 150 army.
I guess you've seen many big things in your life.
Shut up,
Oh,
fucking asshole.
Oh boy, here we go.
So yeah, you do it like against Terran, for example. Imagine this: you time warp the army, you force field behind it. Once you time warp it, the Terran can't stem out because they move so much slower. So you force field behind it, and then you just storm all their army. That's one situation. The other situation is, say you're playing a PvZ, and the guy has like, there's a lot of, this situation has happened a lot. Like, you're going for a 200 Colossus all-in, pre-Broodlord, and the Zerg, they want to trade their Ling Infestor Corruptor army for Colossus and Sentries. So, like, you attack, and then you time warp the Corruptors, and the Corruptors, I swear to God, they never reach your Colossus. You just put them, you just bring them back a bit, and then you target the Corruptors with your Stalkers. So it's just like, it makes Protoss's army 10 times much more cost efficient. Jeez. But yeah, I'm sure they're going to fix that issue for sure. They're not going to let that go the way it is.
Nah, man, it's going to go live like that.
Yeah, I wonder.
It is live right now. It is like
that. I mean, watch the state of the game last week. I was, listening to QXT talk about it. I think he was right on. They should have called this HOTS Alpha because I feel like they're just so far from launching this game, from having the actual game be released.
It's obvious. It's pretty obvious that both the balancing team and the developing team are just bad. Good job. That's just obvious.
Well, I don't know. Okay.
That is so pessimistic.
All right, let's start taking some questions, guys. I should have had freaking Cloud on here when I had freaking Destiny and Moro and everybody on here. Jeez. But let's start taking some questions from the viewers. And the way, guys, that you ask questions is you add me on Skype. My Skype ID is ChanmanV, and I will pull you into this call. And you can ask these three guys anything you want. And we are doing a giveaway. I haven't even been mentioning the giveaway. Hopefully you guys have been looking at the overlay here. But we are doing a giveaway at the end of this. Two of them, actually. One for just all you viewers that that enter, which you enter by following me on Twitter, and you tweet me Cloud's first favorite video game ever, and we'll randomly select from all the correct answers at the end.
What
And
the hell?
yeah, it's just a fun contest, dude. And then the prize will be determined by just what viewer count we get to, and we're still in the Goliath mouse pad range right now. So hopefully we'll get to the mouse after after Q&A, or so you guys can enjoy the mouse. What?
He's talking to his mom.
Oh, he's talking to his mom. Okay, but I'll also be giving away a Goliath mouse pad to one of the ChanmanV subscribers too. And the way you subscribe to my channel is there's a subscribe button at the bottom of the Twitch channel if you want to participate in this event and just future events. I always have fun events, like have one of the pro players come and just give random lessons to the subscribers, or I forget what, I've given away hotkeys to other subscribers. So we just do fun things with the subscribers. But anyways, let's get some questions in here. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and again add me on Skype. My Skype ID is ChanmanV. We got Will here that wants to call. I think Promise wanted to come on and talk a little bit about the Quantic House too in a second. So I'll get Promise on here. But Will's got a call first. Or a question. Will, what's up, man?
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Man, how old are you, Will?
Wow, so yeah.
15.
Dang, man, I didn't realize you're that young. Wow.
I
Okay.
wish I was 15 again.
Exactly, man. He's a future star here.
Yeah.
So you got a
Still
question
in
for these
bronze
guys?
after 3 seasons.
No, don't worry about it, man. Just keep working at it. You'll get there. Don't worry about it.
Exactly. As long as you're enjoying the game, man, that's all we can ask.
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to ask is, do you think actually Zerg is Imber at the minute, with everyone saying that it's an imbalance and everything? What's your opinions on it?
Wait, what do you say? I didn't get it.
Is
So
there
you
a
know-
balance?
Do you think Zerg is Imbo right
I
now?
will start first. I think against Protoss it's imbalanced, against Terran it's not.
In what aspect
think-
do you think it's imbalanced? Like, do you mean like the
Like-
late game with the Broodlord tech, or?
I think the infestors are too strong.
Yeah, it's just
And
one
like-
unit, I think. It's,
And like probably the Broodlords should take more supply, like 6, not 4.
No, the infestors should take 3 supplies instead of 2.
Yeah, I think that would be easier fix.
Yeah,
than
there's
Infestor
something
supply.
wrong with the fact that the Zerg army can be so big and like so expensive, while the Protoss army just can't. So I think that's the real
yeah, I
problem.
mean, infested Terrans.
Infestor is the
infested-
ultimate recyclable unit. That's
Yeah.
the
Yeah, that's the
The
best
infested
one.
Terrans are actually more of an issue than the fungal.
Yeah, the infested
Yeah,
Terran should
I
be
was-
like 50 supply. I mean 50 energy instead of 25. I
No,
think.
oh, no.
You kidding me?
Yeah, that would help. That would definitely help.
But fungal is 75. Like you would never see an
Yeah.
infested Terran, I think.
What do you mean?
Man,
Infested
No,
Terran-
what are you talking about? Infested Terran plays like a huge role
Infested
these days,
8
man.
Marines.
Yeah, they're better than Marines and they're free. What the hell, PT1?
For 25 energy more, you can fungal. I don't know.
Oh, wait,
man.
they're better than
I th-
Marines? Really?
Yeah, they are better than Marines. Sick.
How so? Like, I didn't even realize
They
that.
have better
DPS?
upgrades. They don't have Steam, but if you upgrade, they get +2.
Oh, you mean after upgrade, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I think
Yeah.
they also have a better base damage, like 7 or 8. I don't know. I don't remember.
Yeah, it's not even that. They tank a lot of
The
damage.
eggs, they have too much
Yeah.
armor.
They have like
Also,
3 armor, I think, or 2.
Do you think
Well-
against Protoss, Neural Parasite is OP?
No,
Yes, on the
it's very
mama
under. The only thing that is imbalanced is neuraling a mothership. Apart from that, it's balanced. They should just.
Yeah.
I think that would actually solve a lot of problems that we currently have if they just made it that you couldn't neural a mothership. Because the game ultimately comes down to like if the Zerg just neurals your mothership once, it's over. But if Protoss, even if we have our mothership, the Zerg has options. They could split their broodlords.
I think splitting is the obvious.
Yeah.
Because splitting, it doesn't matter if you have two vortexes or not. You're still not going to get enough of it.
Yeah, I'm still
Sure.
surprised that they haven't made that change. I actually suggested it over a year ago that it shouldn't be able to. It's like the only hero unit that we have, and you can neural it. It makes no sense.
Right. Okay, thanks, Will.
Alright, cheers, Chris.
Yep.
Thanks, man.
Let's see.
See you later.
See if Nor's here. Let me see if Promise is around. He was going to talk a little bit about maybe have a question and talk a little bit about the Quantic House here. Where are the questions, guys? Call them in. Ask them on stream chat if you don't want to call in. Well, maybe
Yeah,
he's
people
gone.
are shy, maybe.
Hello.
What's up, Noir?
Hey,
Hey,
can
man.
you guys hear me?
Yep,
Yeah.
can hear you.
All right, cool. So first of all, Cloud, man, you are one honest boss, man. It's always
Carlo,
cool to
man.
listen to you because I feel like so many people in the community kind of just follow everyone else and don't really have their own opinion. But first, I want
Or
to
at
talk
least don't
about a
say
little
their
bit.
opinion.
Well, yeah, they don't really talk about it. They kind of just keep it hidden. But anyway, something I want to talk about is, first of all, my question is going to be regarding promoting players and marketing players compared to actually having a good, skilled group of people living in a house. Now, for example, EG's approach, from what I've seen at least, is something like market the players, try to give them as much value as possible so that they can get a fan base and they can engage with their fans, all that good stuff. Whereas for Quantic's vision, at least from what I've seen and from Complexity's view, is it's more focused on promoting skilled players as a secondary thing. Of course, it's something really important, but they focus on getting the players in an environment where they're able to socially interact with each other. In this case, which is the Quantic House, they practice consistently. They have a practice schedule. And then the secondary thing would be, okay, how are we going to promote the player? What are we going to do to market them? So in your view, I guess this can be to all three of you, would you be focused more on developing a player as someone who's good, then marketing, or market them and then go ahead and work on the skill?
Well, you can. I mean, of course, it's easier to make a good player marketable than making a marketable person a good player. So to me, it's obvious.
And
Okay.
honestly,
Yeah.
I don't know. So basically, you're saying EG probably focuses more on marketing the players as opposed to like.
Well, I mean, they're
Trying
good
to-
players, but from what I see is it's easier for an organization that's established to market players whether they're good or not, just based on their personality. So I guess the way I'm asking the question is it more important to be good than get marketed? Or is it important to market for whatever you can be good at and then develop them as a player if they wanted to actually be a pro player?
First of all, it's not the way you think it works. There's not like someone that could just start playing the game and become good. There's no team, I think, that can make a player good. The player has to make himself good by himself. That's the first thing. The only thing that you could facilitate is the environment that he practices in, how like the quality of players that are around him. So that's the only thing that you can do. And second of all, I think, like, to be honest, I think EG's business model is probably the best that there is right now, because I'm not here to say like which practice environment is better, whether or not it's Quantix or EG, because I don't live in the houses. I have no idea how they practice. So, but I think that, you know, their philosophy right now is, I don't think that they pressure the players and like to market themselves or to do commercials or whatever. I think.
So you think it just
Are you
comes
serious,
naturally?
man?
I think their main emphasis. I'm not. I don't think they like ask them on a daily basis. Maybe like once a week, or
Well,
I have no idea how it works. But if it's more than like once a week, I think it might be hindering them. But I don't think takes too much of their time, to be honest. And I don't think that they release that much content that they would book players about. You know,
Well,
producing
Yeah,
content for them or
but from
something like that.
an outside perspective, it looks like EG cares so much just about marketing that
I
they
just think they're
completely-
really good at their job, to be honest,
They,
man.
they just disregard the being like a better player fact, while both are needed. You need to be a better player all the time, and you also need to become marketable. Both are important. Like I put them on the same level.
Yeah.
So I think any kind of extreme is not optimal. Like
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, well,
Yeah.
they're
And I
So-
think they
so-
understand. I think they understand this. I think EG's model basically is, we're just, we're gonna let the players practice. You can't force something upon players. It's really hard unless you're in Korea. Korea, they had like really strict practice schedules that you had to do. I don't think EG, they're like telling their players, all right, you have to practice 10 hours a day. I think it's more like a laissez-faire environment. But I think while they have their team house, they're going to take advantage of the opportunities that they have, and they're going to market them as best as they can. But I don't think it hinders their skill level or takes away from their practice time, to be honest. I just think they're really good at their jobs, and they market them really well, that they get more sponsors, and with that money they get better players. I think that's how they're growing as an organization, which is fine, to be honest.
I mean, it definitely sounds like, they're set up to the point where there is a minimum amount of like sponsor promo. I bet that the players have to do, but I think the range, you can choose how much of it you want to do, and there's probably some players that do a lot more because they choose to do a lot more, right? Because
Maybe it's part
they're
of their
just good at
contract.
that.
Yeah, I
it
don't know.
could be. It could be too, but you can just tell. Just when you look at commercials and just all the videos and stuff, there are some players that are in them more than others, right?
Yeah,
So
but the last time I saw Hydra commercial was the Kark thing, and when was that? It was a while back. Like
Yeah.
I don't think
But
EG tells Hydra, all right, you have to, and I know Hydra as like a person, if he feels that they're asking too much of.
Okay, but it's not about
That's-
how much time you spend being marketable and doing stuff like this. It's how much your team cares. Because if it's all about being marketable, then it means the team doesn't care about how good you are. They just
I agree.
what they do.
It's a business
Like,
at
from my
first.
perspective, they just take good promising players and they just don't care about them. They just like make them like they give them a good appeal for like everyone, but then they don't make them grow. They're left alone, actually in a bad environment for practice.
And then if they don't think they're good, they just cut them.
And this is an
contract.
extreme to me because
Yeah.
well,
What I was just go ahead, Chanman.
I was gonna say that. I mean, you're right in some way, but they're just taking a different strategy, Carlo. I mean, and the thing is, they're building a team brand too. You have to remember that.
It depends on
the players.
It depends on the players too. I mean, if I'm a player, it means that I want to be a player. I don't want to be a guy doing like commercial or stuff or like be popular without actually being a player.
Yeah.
Well, then you don't join EG. I mean, that's the thing. Like, if you want to get marketed and exposed, you know what I mean? It's
not.
You have choices.
I
You have
don't
choices.
respect players who are not players.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's my
that's
point.
fair. I mean, it's fair, obviously. Okay.
To be honest, like honestly, I don't, Carla, I don't agree with your opinion. Like Stefano, he joined EG, and even if Stefano does a commercial here and there for EG, it won't make me think less of him.
Yeah, but
because
it's
I
not
know
about making commercial because it uses time. It's about what the team expects from you. If they like throw money at you, so much money.
But why would you think less? All right, but you just said
but
it's what the team expects of you. But why would you think less of the player if it's imposed on them? You know, if
It's not
they're-
just
if their
that.
team- I think that's just their team philosophy. They're trying to create a empire. To be honest, like they're really smart at it. So I just think if they're to be a second, if they're like pushing it on the players to the point where they're hindering their practice or if it's hurting their performance, then yeah, I think it's a bad thing. But if that's not the case, then I think it's perfectly fine, and I don't think that's the case, to be honest.
I mean, you have to think. If you think about it from this standpoint too, Carlo. I mean, they're paying their players well. I mean, they're making pro gaming a viable profession. In a way. You know what I mean? They are. I mean,
no,
their
but
players,
they're not. No. Listen, like, well, Stefano is an exception, but I guess Idris paid really well, and he's paid well because he's marketable, not because he's a winning pro gamer.
That's right.
To me, this is wrong.
Yep.
He's not paid to be a pro gamer.
It's an exception, and he's pretty good, to be honest. It's not as people think he's much worse than he is.
I mean, you have to have a
He's
base
good.
level. Yeah, you have to have a base level of
Idris is
success.
good, but
Yeah.
I mean, it still doesn't scale to. I mean,
To how much
just-
I know. To how much? All right, how much Hydra makes? It doesn't scale to how much Nurcho makes, right? Nurcho is a better player. He should be rewarded for his skill level. And you disagree with that, right, Cloud? That's basically the
I mean,
the gist
you
of
can
it.
apply this to Koreans as well. That's not
Yeah,
the point. The
but
point is that
what's-
Idris paid because he's marketable. Hack is paid because he's marketable,
Well-
not because they are players.
No, but you have to remember
They're-
they're marketable because they had success early on in this game, like in
Yeah, 2
Starcraft
years
2.
ago,
Yeah, but still, it carries over. I mean, there
it's
is,
a joke, man.
but there are a lot of there are other folks in other sports who were successful at one time and they just continued, having that following, even when their skill deteriorated, right? I mean, it's yeah. I mean,
I don't know. This is
Okay,
just
go
a topic that can really go both ways.
yeah,
Each
we could
person can
talk
have-
about
Yeah, this can just go on for days.
yeah,
So
we could talk about this forever, but
It's
Yeah.
hard to say. Like it's hard to say. Oh, did their results decrease because they joined this team, or Is it just because StarCraft 2 is such a competitive game, man? It's really hard to be dominant in StarCraft 2, you don't think? Maybe people, they play a lot, everyone catches on, the information is like always out there. There's so many VODs, there's like shows, pro gamers talk about their opinions, you know, there's a lot of information that's spread around, so it's very hard to be a dominant player. I don't think...
I told you the reasons why I think that's not a good place to practice.
Yeah, I know.
So you know my opinion already.
But for
no,
example,
Hug,
he practices in Korea, man. Like, he doesn't stay in the EG house and practice. He plays in Korea. He's living in the he has the same practice environment that he had in Liquid. He lives in a team house and he's practicing in Korea. So how is this applied to Huck?
He doesn't change his playstyle. He plays like a clown. He keeps
Okay,
playing
but
like a clown.
oh boy, oh.
But it has nothing,
I think people.
it has nothing to do with their team house. Huck has the same practice environment. I just think it's really hard to be a dominant player like it used to be.
I want to say this. Many people think just because you play a certain way and it works sometimes doesn't mean it's good. And many people do this. Like, they keep playing this way, even though it works against some players, it doesn't mean it's fucking good, and it doesn't mean it's reliable when you want to play a real game. Against a good player, it's gonna stomp you every single time. That's why you have to... People try to be, like, innovative and stuff. That's great and stuff like that. But you need... And StarCraft 2 at this point is, like... There's, like, basic stuff to do that you should get better at before you try to be innovative. And that's what people... Mostly foreigners try to avoid looking at. They just try to get innovative. Oh, look, I invented this, blah, blah, blah. But they're actually really fucking bad playing the game. Because they don't know what they actually do.
That's a different discussion. Like,
Yeah, you know what? That's a really good point Major says, because just something I want to say really quickly before I hang up, because I know you guys are probably going to take more callers. But Major brings a really good point as to Huck. I mean, if Huck, of course, was a really good player, he produced results early on, Koreans transferred over, all that stuff. People are consistently competing at each other or with each other to give themselves the best results they can do. Now, what I'm trying to say is, at the scene at this point right now, I feel like there's so many people at the top that in terms to agree with Cloud, are there because they're marketable. Now, there's so many people in NA, there's so many people in Europe, there's so many people in Korea that are consistently practicing, are actually better than so many of these, you know, top-end players that are just popular for whoever they are.
Who are all these players that you're talking about that are just so popular because of who they are?
Well, no, they're popular
okay.
because they're popular because, number one, as Cloud mentioned, they were very, very known in the beta. Some people got featured streams, some people didn't get featured streams, and then there's players that are still popular that are not producing results, that are taking other people's opportunity to become professionals, who are actually better players than those ones that are getting all the spotlight. Do you kind of see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yes, it's true.
So my question is, how is it possible that we're able to grow, you know, NA or European players that are not like getting 5,000 viewers on Team Liquid to actually be able to market themselves in a way where they're able to actually shine away the people that are, like, you know, were popular during the beta, who shouldn't really be getting that spotlight as much?
I mean,
if teams like EG exist, then it's not possible. That's
that's not true.
I love how everything just goes to EG. Let's try to keep it positive.
Okay, that's not true, guys, because...
Or Liquid, whatever.
Here's the thing, like, there are a lot of good players that are on teams. I mean, you keep bringing up Nurtio. Nurtio is on Team Acer. But is Team Acer promoting Nurtio like, you know, like EG's promoting, I don't know, Stefano or whoever? No, they're not. Why aren't they? They should be. So
because they don't have the means to. EG is a baller when it comes to marketing their players.
No, that's not true. You can say, I mean...
Yes, it is true.
There are a lot of things that Acer could do that doesn't cost money, actually, that they could do to help promote them, but they don't. So it's... I feel like other teams...
So do you think it falls on the teams to market their players, to get them as much popularity if they're like skilled players, or is it more on the player to motivate themselves to start streaming and doing all that stuff? Because I can agree that it's partly on the team, but at the same time, I feel like the scene is so saturated with players that are just at the top because they were there from the beginning, where other people aren't getting opportunities. Because I don't know, man, I just see people streaming, I see people going on shows, I see they're practicing, but they're just not getting as much attention as they should.
Here's the thing, I promise. Like, it's a relative thing, right? So, yeah, there are a lot of good players. Sure they are. But relative to, like, the best players, you know, there are a lot of players right now that are really good, too, right? But there aren't a lot of players that are funny as shit. You know, like, whether it's, like, Destiny or it's whoever, like Paulo or somebody else who's just just entertaining, right? That's why those they're entertainers. There's